Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Bucko Brew, powered by DeFair Coffee and Tea. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Jim Rosati, straight back from Minnesota. You're like 2 hours deep off the plane.
Yeah, it was a late night. It was a late night last night. I flew this airline called Sun Country for the first time in my life.
Wait, what?
Never even heard of them. Sun Country
Same.
Airlines. It's some like discount budget airline based out of Minneapolis. And yeah, I mean, because it was Sun Country and not Delta, who you would normally flying to Minneapolis. My wife and I, we saved like $1,000 on tickets round trip. Like it was gonna cost $1,000 more to fly Delta than Sun Country. But yeah, flight was delayed like 3 hours, and because it was Sun Country, I did it from Cincinnati, not Louisville. So it was another hour and a half drive on top of the delay. So it was rough. I was not happy last night. And then as soon as I landed in Cincinnati, driving home for an hour and a half in like a torrential downpour, it was a miserable evening. But we're here. Yeah, we're here. Let's just say that.
They actually fly out of Jacksonville.
Oh, they fly everywhere.
I'm looking Jacksonville to Phoenix.
No,
Randomly.
there you go.
And between now and October 31st, there's actually 7 days they fly out of.
Yeah, it's like
7 total days, not days of the week.
Yes, it's like it's a weird airline, weird schedules, but yeah, found a flight there and back that worked from a timing standpoint. And they're like, you know what, whatever, let's roll with it. I'll still say like it was worth the $1,000 that we saved to be late, coming in late last night, but it's just
does this include like luggage and everything?
No. So
okay.
All we brought were
bye.
I don't know what happened to the camera now. But
so it's a quick trip. It's one of those. It's a quick light trip.
Yeah, it was quick trip, round trip. One way, no layovers. So it was like, yeah, we can do this.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll say that too. It's direct flights there. Giving me $309 for a round trip to Phoenix. So that's not bad. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that I feel bad for you. Like I said, you were gonna get in late last night already, and then you got in extra late. It's not like we don't have a 7 a.m. show because again, we're stupid. But hey, glad you're here. Glad you made it. Glad you didn't stand me up. Kind of. You're here in spirit at least right now. Maybe not so much visually on camera, but yeah, Jim. Thanks for showing up. You missed all the festivities last night.
I was able to catch like the very beginning of the show because of the delay. Didn't even catch that. You guys were live for 4 hours and 20 minutes last night.
We were
crazy people, just absolute psychos.
Everyone here knows we're crazy. Well, we are. We're stupid. We're just absolutely insane. We're stupid. We're just pathetic. Like, our lives are just pathetic. Don't aspire to be any of us. But Murph does not have to do that at all. I mean, he's not one of us, right? He was like, oh, yeah, I'll join you guys. And I even told him, too, I'm like, hey, I'm just thinking, like, I mean, if maybe like the first 15, 20 minutes, something like that. I mean, just come on. Maybe we can talk about the draft holistically, just here's the plans, I think. Here's a lot of the top guys, kind of like lay out the foundation of the show. Maybe the Pirates pick, then you can kind of go. You can dip beforehand also. 4 hours and 20 minutes, he stayed the entire time also. So, like, shout out to him. He's a real
Trooper. He's awesome. And like I said, if you haven't already, subscribed to Bucs on Deck. If you're into the prospect scene, it doesn't get much better than their coverage when it comes to the Pittsburgh Pirates prospects. So yeah, I'll have to, like I said, at some point I'll have to sit down and watch that 4 hour show.
No
Because
one's ever
I
said
said
that.
Seth Hernandez, I know a ton about. Know a ton about Seth Hernandez. We did a show with Jim Callis earlier, and we talked about Seth Hernandez quite a bit on that show, and I came out of that with the mindset of, if Seth Hernandez is available for the Pirates, like, he's got to be your pick.
Yeah.
That was just my opinion. Was I think this guy has a chance to be the best player in the draft, and if he's there at 6, you take him. I don't care that you need hitting. You don't draft for need. You draft the best player possible. And he was there for him, and they picked him. So, yeah, now the Pirates have another, super high ceiling pitching prospect in their system. It's going to be exciting to see kind of how he progresses. Like, I wouldn't imagine he pitches at all this year,
Right.
but we'll get his first look at pro ball next season. So, yeah, cool stuff. And then I said other guys: Angel Cervantes, Murph Gray, Easton Carmichael. I'm gonna have to figure out who those guys are and read up on them. I've got my Baseball America scouting reports here, so I'll have to dive into those today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, we have quite a bit to talk about. We had a big day yesterday again with the draft. Honestly, I'm kind of excited about that draft. The Pirates won, so they didn't lose 9 in a row. They stayed above 500 as a franchise. We have the All-Star break coming up here, so some fun stuff. So before we talk about all of that as well, let me tell you all about the sponsor of our show, DeFair Coffee and Tea. DeFair is a family and employee-owned and operated business. They believe that coffee and tea are one of life's simplest and most accessible pleasures, and when enjoyed thoughtfully, can open your eyes to the here and now. They have 5 locations across the city of Pittsburgh, including their flagship in the heart of Pittsburgh Historic District. But also, don't forget to stop by DeFair's new location downtown on Penn Avenue, right across from the Benham. So grab a cup of coffee, fuel up on your walk to PNC Park. Mobile ordering is available. And again, check out their Instagram for more details. And their Instagram is DeFair. And of course, their website is defair.coffeeandtea. So yeah, check them out. They're good stuff. And Jim, you know what to tell everyone.
Yeah, NS930 on their website gets you 30% off your first online order from DeFair. And yeah, the new downtown location, that's awesome. Because if there's one thing that I wish PNC Park had that they don't, is like good coffee, especially for those day
Banks.
games. Like those like 1 o'clock or like 12:30 games. Like, I need some coffee still at that point. So the fact that if you're parking downtown or you're coming over from work downtown, you gotta stop right there heading to the game, grab some coffee before heading into the ball game on your day games or your evening games, whatever works for you.
There you go. Well, Jim, where do you want to start today's show at? Because again, I know you're kind of.
I don't know. We want to talk about the weekend a little bit.
We can talk about the weekend. So again, hey, and you were at some games. You were at the game where the Pirates cursed the franchise and were no longer winning. Shocking. The Rosati curse. Shocking. I'm just saying. You happened to be there when Byron Buxton hit a cycle, and the Pirates were no longer a winning franchise.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
What's crazy is, like, first off, if you hadn't been to Minneapolis before, especially in the summer, like, it was awesome. It was a fun weekend. In 2 years, when the Pirates go back there, I highly recommend doing that trip if you haven't. It's a great city, great downtown, great neighborhoods around it. Really nice ballpark. It was my first time at Target Field. Cool ballpark. Let's say cool things to do. However, the baseball games were definitely the low light of this trip. It was just miserable watching this offense. It was miserable. I think the Friday game with Paul Skenes on the mound, it was just, you knew what was going to happen beforehand. Like, you knew exactly how this game was going to go. Paul Skenes was going to shove. Pirates weren't going to hit. The Twins were somehow going to scratch across like 1 or 2 runs, and the Pirates were going to lose. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't check the post-game show, but I would imagine that's kind of how the post-game show went. Was, this was your typical Paul Skenes start. Saturday's game was just a beating of epic proportions. It was the second inning. I think the Pirates were down 6-0 at that point. I look at my wife and I'm just like, hey, if we get down by 10, we could just leave. And so she started rooting for the Twins to go up by 10 so we could get out of there.
That's funny.
I don't think that ever happened. I don't think they ever got up by 10. And then at one point when Buxton was 3 for 3 with a triple, double, and a single, I was like, well, now we got to stay. Now we got to stay and see if Buxton can hit for the cycle. And he did. So, you know what? I mean, that was cool to see. I mean, it sucked that it was against the Pirates, but it was a pretty cool accomplishment to watch. And then also the fact it was his bobblehead night, like that was pretty cool. So I've got a Byron Buxton Twins bobblehead from his cycle day. Shout out Sax Boy, who gave me his because I didn't get to the ballpark early enough to get one.
What a good guy!
Yeah, he's a great guy. But no, it was a fun weekend. The games sucked on Friday and Saturday. Sunday though looked like Mitch Keller just kept doing what he's been doing all year. And like I said, as much as we don't want to see him go, he's at the point now like he's going to be the best or second best pitcher available at this deadline. And there's going to be a lot of teams banging the door for him. His value, I don't think, as a starting pitcher has ever been higher than it is right now in terms of other teams wanting him.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's just going to be interesting to see what happens. We've got 17 days until the trade deadline. I don't want to see him go, but you failed miserably to build any sort of offense. And he is probably your one guy who you can trade, who can get you something impactful in return. It's just one of those deals where, like, if they trade Mitch Keller, they can't miss. Like, they cannot miss on that. If they miss on that trade, it's bad. It's going to be real bad.
Right. It's kind of like you're saying. It's their chance. It's their shot to fix the problem they've created, because they have a lot of depth in the pitching side. And
they can't get Colin Moran for him. You know, like that's you traded Garrett Cole and you're like, we need to get somebody back in return who's going to help us. You can't get a Colin Moran type player if you're going to trade Mitch Keller.
Yeah, right. And that trade itself too, it was a plethora of guys. It was like, well, hey, there's 3, maybe 4 guys that we can plug into the major league team to help us out. And yeah, like one of them was Joe Musgrove, who took some time. But it's like, yeah, like you can't do that. You can't say also like we're just going to have a lot of quantity that's going to help us. Like you have to have some impact here. And then going back to that, I mean, right now Mitch Keller's at a 2.8 WAR. I mean, today, right now, he stands before the All-Star break at 2.8 WAR. I mean, his career high as far as WAR goes is a 3.3 season. That was back in 2023. He's pitching great. Now we understand it's true. I mean, let's talk about it. He does have some second half woes, but at this point in time, he looks every bit as good. Doesn't look like he's breaking down. You know, I'm not here to project that he's going to continue this. I'm not here to project that, okay, the second half downside's coming. I mean, there's a little of that buyers beware, but even with that said, like this is a perfect guy that teams, I mean, like the Mets would love to have. I mean, there are plenty of playoff teams. The Dodgers, I'm not saying the Dodgers will happen, but like the Dodgers team in theory is a good example of what I'm talking about. Like they have pitching built for the playoffs. There's a lot of teams that don't have pitching built for the regular season. You know, there's teams that can't get to the playoffs because they've run out of pitching. Mitch Keller is there every 5 days, giving you 6 innings basically, you know, and quality innings. And this year it's more than just quality. I mean, they are good, really good innings, a 3.48 ERA now in the year. You know, 119 innings pitched so far on the season in 20 games. I mean, the guy is, he you know what you're getting from him, essentially. That day's coming up, you just forget about it. Mitch is going to be good. Bullpen's going to be good. I don't have to worry about too much. I don't got to get cute, you know. That's what he does. He makes that manager relax a little bit, and especially that GM too. So, yes, he's having a really, really strong season, like you said about his trade value. It probably is. I mean, he had probably a better first half a few years ago, but that was very short to the really, really bad Mitch Keller era. And it's, at that point in time, I was like, well, I'm not sure who he is. You know, do I trust this? Now you can trust it.
Yeah, it's it's his best year. It's his best year to date. 3.32 FIP, 3.48 ERA. He's fourth in the National League in innings pitched, 16th in ERA. Fangraphs has him as the 30th best pitcher in baseball, according to their power ranking. You're the 30th best pitcher in baseball. There's 30 teams. It means you're a back end number one starter, high end number two starter at this point. Yeah, like every single team who's fighting for a playoff spot would love to have Mitch Keller on their team. The problem is that if you're fighting for a playoff spot, you're not probably going to be very willing to give up major league impact hitting in return, right? Like we talk about like a Wilyer Abreu type guy coming back from Mitch Keller. Like I just don't foresee something like that happening. I don't see a team who's in a playoff hunt giving away someone who's already an impact bat in their lineup, even for somebody like Mitch Keller. So it's just going to be an interesting deadline. That's why I don't think it's a good idea to trade him. I think if you are dead set on trading him, I think the offseason is the time to do it because it opens up more teams to be able to do it for. And I think teams will be a little bit more willing to trade an actual bat for him as opposed to, you know, taking away from their contending team, you know, down the stretch. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'll say this, like if the Pirates are going to trade him, Mitch Keller has done everything possible to make it so that the Pirates are in the best position to get the best return possible. It's just personally, I don't trust Ben Cherington to execute that trade. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get what they need in return for him right now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's all completely valid. And I'm 100% with you. I think this trade is just unique because I think there's specific things you are looking for. It's not just like, hey, it's not like we're looking for a prospect package who's giving us the best prospect package. It's like, this is what we need, and teams need to fit that mold, like you said. And so, for one, it's only going to be half the teams in baseball because half the teams will be competing, basically. And then of those half, it's like, well, who can afford to give up what you need, right? Who's willing to say, like, hey, we have an extra bat? Who's the opposite of the Pirates? We have hitting depth. We don't need this major league player. And like the Red Sox is a good example of it. Like you bring up Abreu. Like he's a good example. Like Roman Anthony came up. So maybe now we can give away an outfield bat. But again, that's one team then. And is it one team now fighting against themselves? Like, you know, do they know that? And it's like, well, we're going to play with you. Come the offseason, everyone's free. Everyone's open. You know what? We can take away this bat because we can sign this free agent. Like they can make moves to accommodate such. So I'm with you. It's going to be tricky. That's why, you know, I could see him being traded at the deadline. I can see it. But I do think a Mitch Keller trade makes more sense in the offseason. The only difference with the trade deadline is teams can also get desperate. Like, hey, like I need to get to the postseason. I don't want to make this deal, but it's going to get me there. Here, have it. And then the Pirates win in that sense. But again, it's going to be harder to do, I think. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Mitch Keller, like you said, is doing everything that he can to help the Pirates in that trade. I guess you can word it that way because he is. He's having a fantastic season so far.
He is. And somehow he's not even the best Pirates pitcher. Not even close.
Yeah. It's silly that it's not close, and it's the National League starting pitcher. it's Paul Skenes. Back-to-back years. The kid's 23 years old, and he's going to be starting 2 All-Star games.
Yeah, what was the stat that was dropped?
5 players
on Saturday. 5 players in the history of the sport who have started the All-Star game in their first 2 seasons.
Yep.
And I mean, the lists are all Hall of Famers. I think it's Hall of Famer.
Only pitcher.
Hall of Famer, and he's the only pitcher. Yeah, which is impressive because you know the other positions. There's 9 of them. There's only one position Paul Skenes can play, right? Whereas if you're an outfielder, like you can play left field one day and center field the other day. But yeah, like it's just astounding what he's doing. Well deserved.
Just to follow up on that from Jimmy T. Yeah, so Paul Skenes will become the first pitcher and one of 5 major league players ever to start in the All-Star game in each of his first 2 big league seasons, along with Joe DiMaggio, Ichiro Suzuki, Rod Carew, and Frank Robinson.
Those are some names. Those are some names right there.
And this is those are names minimize it.
Yeah.
But also like Ichiro was like a unique situation. He like came over in his prime, you know. Again, Paul Skenes is 23.
Yeah. It's incredibly impressive, and you just gotta. I mean, it's watching him pitch. He's incredible. It's incredible. He's the best pitcher in baseball. I don't care that there's maybe a few people out there who say it'll be Skubal. It's Skubal, but like no, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not. Paul Skenes is better. Paul Skenes is the best pitcher in baseball. At this point, I'm gonna say he's the best pitcher I've ever seen. I mean, like prime, like I'm not diminishing prime Pedro Martinez or prime Roger Clemens or Dwight Gooden back in the day, you know, like Jacob deGrom. What he's doing at age 23, like I said, we talked about this last week, but he's not in his prime yet. Like pitchers don't hit their prime until their late 20s. I don't even know what this guy.
I mean, even like position players, like no one, like major league players. Paul very likely could still be in the minor leagues as a prospect.
Yeah.
Again, he's 23. You know, like 2. Guys debut at 23.
Career ERA below 2. And it's not like we're dealing with a small sample size anymore. Like he's made 43 starts and he has a 1.98 ERA.
Perfect example. Okay, and I'll be on the side of you can absolutely make the argument. I mean, you can make the argument if it's who's better, Skubal or Skenes. But again, to understand the comparison, Skubal made his debut at age 23, 32 innings. Like he didn't have a full season until 24, and his ERA at 24 is a 4.34. His ERA next year is a 3.52, 2.80, 2.39, 2.23. Again, the progression that Skubal had to take to get to where he is at age 28. He didn't debut until 23. That's like what I'm alluding to. Paul Skenes at 23 now, starting his second All-Star game.
Yeah, it's incredible. I like extending him just isn't even realistic at this point, but like whatever it takes, just try to do it. I don't think it's going to happen, but you got to try to do it. It's wild. And I mentioned like being in Minneapolis. It's crazy because, and I was talking about this with Colin from the PG and Jose from DK Pittsburgh Sports, but like we live in our own Pirates bubble, and so like we talk about Skenes and all the discourse surrounding him. But at the game on Friday, there was a family of Twins fans sitting behind me, and there was this 12-ish year old kid. And he goes, "Hey, Dad, I know I'm a Twins fan, but I've got to root for Paul Skenes tonight." He's like, "I love that guy. I got to root for him." And it's like, when was the last time the Pirates had a guy like that, where like other players, like other fans of other teams, like were cheering for them? I remember something similar being said about Andrew McCutchen like over 10 years ago. But like, yeah, you've got a guy like that on your team and they're just squandering it right now. And that's just what makes it so frustrating. So frustrating. Like he is someone that just baseball fans in general, like they want to watch him. They want to see him pitch. And the fact that he's on our team is awesome. Like let's give him some meaningful baseball to pitch in. We're talking about, leading up to this All-Star game, how he's been pitching, 5 innings at a time. And there are other reasons for that other than just pitching in the All-Star game, but like Paul Skenes hasn't pitched in a meaningful game in his career. Probably the biggest games of Paul Skenes' career so far have been exhibition games or college games where they're amateurs.
Yeah.
Like, he has not played an impactful professional baseball game that matters.
Right.
And that sucks.
I want to go back to what you said, like with that kid. I guess I never really put it in that perspective. Like, I've talked about it, and we all have, like what Paul Skenes brings and stuff. And it's like, yeah. I guess for me personally, it's I grew up the Sonics fan, as we all know. They're not even a team anymore, right? But grew up a Sonics fan. But like at the same time, I was also a Bulls fan because of Jordan. Like, you had to be. Like, I think everyone deep down inside was a Bulls fan to some degree because of Michael Jordan. And it's like, yeah, like that's kind of Paul Skenes. Like, I can relate to that. I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but what I'm alluding to is like, yeah, like you can easily be a Twins fan and be like, but Paul Skenes is my favorite player. Like, I understand that. Jordan was my favorite player. He wasn't a Sonic, and it's like, yeah, that can absolutely be like Paul Skenes to a lot of people. Like, they're, to me, right, they're Jordan. And I can understand that. That's probably a lot of kids, especially, and it is what it is, like, with him and Livy Dunn. That's why it's like this power couple. I mean, like Livy Dunn, every kid on TikTok knows who Livy Dunn is, right? And now it's Paul Skenes, and he's a face of baseball now to some level. Yeah. You got to understand what you got in your hands.
There's value in just random baseball fans spread out across the country buying Paul Skenes gear and cheering for Paul Skenes and knowing who he is.
Right.
And hopefully this owner realizes that. And I mean, it's going to take a large sum of money that we've never even discussed before when it comes to the Pittsburgh Pirates to keep this guy around. But like, if you're Bob Nutting, man, you've got to. What's the point of owning a sports team if you aren't going to try to keep a guy like this? What's even the point? And I say it's frustrating. Just the economics of baseball and how cheap this guy is. It's just, I just don't see it happening. Like, I don't even see a situation where Paul Skenes is here past. I know Noah dropped the quote
29.
where he thinks next year is going to be his last full year. I don't think that's the case, but like, I really think 2027 is probably Paul Skenes' last full year as a Pirate.
Well, then you're okay. Back up.
We're taking the show kind of off the rails here, but
no, because what you're saying is what Noah said, though. Can we put Noah's quote in full context?
So Noah's quote was he thinks
saying
next year will be his last full year.
And why is that?
Because he'll get traded halfway through 2027.
No, Jim. No. 2027, he's expecting the lockout. So it's going to be a shortened season in 2027. So that's why 27 is also not going to be a full year of Paul Skenes. He's saying 28 he'll probably get traded. I just want to clear this up because I think a lot of people didn't understand where it's coming from because that quote came out there and that's how they ran with it. It's because 2027 will be shortened as well, so that's going to be a shortened season. So again, Pirates fans aren't going to experience a full year of Paul Skenes like in 2020 and experience a full year of whomever because it was shortened. Yeah. So that's what he's alluding to. Next year will be the last full season that we get of Paul Skenes. So you can argue if 28 or 29 is the year they trade him. So anyways, I just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you for clarifying that. I don't think there's going to be any sort of work stoppages in 2027. I think both sides are relatively happy with where they're at right now, and the owners in particular. Wow. I don't think the owners, because and it's because of the timing of the TV deals. I don't think the owners are going to risk any sort of work stoppage in 2027 because of the TV deals that are expiring at the end of that year. It would be terrible timing for them in terms of negotiating with these with these television companies. So I think they figure it out. I think Skenes pitches a full year in 2026, full year in 2027, and then 2028 at some point he's probably dealt. That's my guess.
Well, at any rate, let's not talk about that. we were so good. But I did want to clear it up because again, I want people to understand. Don't expect him to get traded in 27. That's not where that was.
Thank you for clarifying that.
But let's just talk about how Paul Skenes is a Pirate and just forget about the inevitable.
Well, and I mean, this whole week, I mean, the All-Star break, we're coming up on the All-Star break. Tonight, you've got the Home Run Derby. So we've got Oneil Cruz in the Home Run Derby tonight. We got Paul Skenes starting in the All-Star game this week. Like, the Pirates fans have something to look forward to this week. I mean, Skenes is going to face, I don't know what the 1, 2, 3 American League lineup is going to look like, but it's going to be 3 studs. And let's see if he can go out. Last year, you know, he rose to the occasion. See if he can do it again this year. And I gotta say, I'm super excited for this Home Run Derby.
I am too. I'm excited for both. Right, like Paul Skenes is going to own All-Star Week again, just like he did last year. No, it won't be it won't be the novelty so much because it's like, hey, the rookie pitcher that's doing it. He's been here before. It's the second year. Like this is more deserving. It's not like the Mazeroski thing also where, but still like well deserving. He's there, but it's Paul Skenes. It's showtime. And the red carpet, he's going to shine. They are going to shine. But Oneil Cruz, he's built for this. He is absolutely built for this. And I don't want to hear anything about like what he's deserving of or whatever. It's the slam dunk contest of baseball. You don't get people into the slam dunk contest because they're the most dunks. You're not adding a bunch of 7-foot centers into the dunk contest. You want showtime. Oneil Cruz can provide showtime. There's a reason why, there's a reason why exit velocity and launch angle matters because, actually hitting the baseball, like that's a good thing. If you hit the ball very hard and a very good angle, you drive the ball as far as you can, that usually works out being well. That truly matters. But again, that's also why it's kind of talked about. And it's why it's like there's some things that are amazing about it. He was built for the Home Run Derby. I want to see nukes.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, I remember back when I was a kid, the most exciting home run derbies were just guys launching balls, and it wasn't always the top home run getter. Like, I mean, Bobby Abreu put on a show. I mean, Josh Hamilton was always a pretty big home run guy when he did it, but there were guys where they were just built for the home run derby and kind of that whole thing. And I'm excited to watch him. This is there aren't too many people where you, like I said, it's batting practice. It's glorified batting practice, but instead of having to like work on other things, you're just trying to crush the ball. So like that's fun. If you like baseball and you like balls being hit far, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to watch Oneil Cruz in this derby. So, and I know there's a lot of hot takes out there where it's like, I don't want to see him. He doesn't deserve it. Blah blah blah. This is an entertainment. This is entertainment. The home run derby isn't a, hey, let's take the top 5 home run getters and put them all together. That's not what it is. It's, hey, who do I want to watch launch baseballs for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is? And Oneil Cruz, he's hit the hardest ball in the history of the sport. Why else? Why would you not want to see him try to hit home runs? Like, why would you not want to see that? I don't understand it. It's going to be fun.
Right.
It's going to be fun. I want to see him hit a ball 500 feet.
Again, like the parallel to the slam dunk contest, like Zach Levine. I mean, the call was like, who is he? He's not. I mean, he's a good enough player. He has a career.
Good player,
but like, who is he? Is he deserving to be in a slam dunk contest? He's known because he's in the slam dunk contest. I mean, his claim to fame, he made him a star in that sense. And yes, you want to see him in a slam dunk contest because he's really good at it and it entertains you. And then again, like that's what this is. I'm going to be hopefully, that's what we're hoping, but like the world is going to be entertained by Oneil Cruz being in the home run derby. So entertain us. Give us good TV. Give us a good home run derby. I don't care that someone hit 25 home runs. And I mean, like, think about like some of the Pirates. Like, think about Pedro. Think about Kutch. Like, they didn't do well in the home run derby. It was boring. Is that what you want to see? Like, do you want to see a boring home run derby? Do you want, who was it that had 0 again? Was it Bay?
Bay. Yeah,
Bay had 0. You know what I mean? Jason Bay, like one of the top home run. You would think, right? Was that fun? Was that entertaining? Was that good for TV? No. Hopefully, and I hopefully expect Oneil Cruz will be entertaining. Give me that. Give me these runs that it's like, holy hell, look at this. Oh my God. Look at this derby. Look at this back and forth that's going on. Yeah, I want to be entertained. So I'm happy for Oneil Cruz. I'm happy he's in a situation where, he's good enough to be called upon it. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, I am too. Because again, like, he just put on a show. I just want to watch the show. The Derby, I feel like these last couple of years has just like lost a little bit of luster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just want to see him put on a show. The Home Run Derby has put people's like names on the map before, and kind of risen them to superstardom. So yeah, let's go, Cruz.
Pete Alonso was eating off of the Home Run Derby for a while. Now he got paid in his contract.
Yeah. That's true.
Pete Alonso was like, well, another pre-RB year, got to go win the Home Run Derby.
But like take Josh Hamilton, for example.
Yeah.
Josh Hamilton, super talented individual, never really, put it all together for multiple reasons. He made a name for himself in the Home Run Derby, and he never even won it. I don't think. But he had that like a couple like incredible rounds at Yankee Stadium. Yeah. So like, that's what people remember him for. So just put on a show, entertain us. Take that next step. Next thing you know, you'll have kids saying, "Hey, I'm a Reds fan, but I gotta root for Oneil Cruz today."
That's also very fair. Because I know a lot of people in Pittsburgh don't fully enjoy Oneil Cruz the way I feel like they probably should. But regardless, you are. You like what you like. I'm here to tell you to or not. But yeah, again, you're putting on that stage. I mean, there's going to be kids watching this, and it's like, oh my God, who's this Oneil Cruz? Oh my God, right? So yeah, that could happen. You have Paul Skenes. We talk about how that transcends, and with Paul Skenes and how kids Oneil Cruz could add to that. You're only like you're showcasing the Pirates brand. If you were smart about it business wise, you would capitalize on that. That's what we're alluding to. But yeah, Doug actually brings up a good point here as well. I mean, the slam dunk contest, Max McClung, like G League player. Also, I want to see him. He's not even in the NBA. He's not even good enough to be in the NBA. He's been on like some 10-day contracts basically, and now he's a star because of the slam dunk contest. And again, like, you want to see that. That is entertaining. I want to be entertained.
Couldn't agree more.
There it is. Anything else about the All-Star festivities you want to talk about?
No. It's, as I said, it's gonna be a fun week. Pirates are gonna be at the forefront in the league's, one of the league's biggest showcases. So I know some people have kind of poo-pooed on the All-Star game. I still think it's the best All-Star game in pro sports. It's like it's the one All-Star game where they can typically get all the best players to play in it. They're not, and because it's not necessarily, it's a team sport, but it's one-on-one. Like baseball's one-on-one. It's really the only sport. It's a team sport, but it's pitcher versus batter for the most part, and everyone else kind of plays their own role. You're not passing balls to each other like you are in every other sport. So it's just a cool game where you can highlight
Paul Skenes every time.
Yeah, it's a cool game where you get to see the best players in the league, and like I said, it's pretty cool to see that two Pirates are really going to be headlining this whole week. So
No,
I know it's
I
been a
agree.
rough year. It's been a rough year. It's not been an enjoyable season. But like, let's try to enjoy this week, because guess what? The Pirates can't lose. Pirates can't lose until Friday.
We think, technically speaking, but we also know it's the Pirates. They'll find a way.
They'll figure it out. Yeah.
Something will happen. But I'm with you. And it's just like at the same side, and I'm not here to argue it either. But the whole, limiting Paul Skenes' outings because it's the All Star game, it's an exhibition, and this and that. It's like, you know what? Again, like, yeah, like regardless of it being an exhibition, it's still really freaking cool. That's a moment. And again, like he is 23. Maybe when he's Zach Willer's age and he's been there, done that, and like now, what's more important to me is just getting rest. But he's 23 years old. Let him enjoy. I know it's in obviously Atlanta, but let him enjoy Hollywood because that's what this is. This is a show. This is entertainment. This is the who's of who. There's red carpets. Like let him enjoy this. Let him experience it. It's a great. Any one of us. I mean, you've had the opportunity to be in that. You would want to go, I'm sure. So let him do it. And yes, I do think it's done very, very well. I might argue that I think NBA marketing wise as like it's All-Star weekend. Like what the NBA does maybe is like a better package, but as far as like the game itself, I'm with you. Because like in the NBA All-Star game, it's no one's really, it's whatever. It's just, yeah, it's 213 to 212 at the end of the day, and nothing really happened. They're just like, you know what I mean? Like, but I think like the package that's given to you as the experience is probably better than MLB's All-Star week per se. But as far as the game goes, for sure. And right, like Paul Skenes it's probably going to be for one inning, but it's going to be Paul versus whoever the three guys are, and it's going to be one of the best three players in the AL. Like last year, they had Judge and Soto. I mean, that was a big deal, and he showed up, and everyone on the national stage got to see it. So cool for him. Cool for him to do it again. Cool for the Pirates to be represented that same way. And then, yes, Oneil Cruz is going to be featured as the Pirates representative for the home run derby for the entire night, right? Not just one inning. Hopefully the entire night.
Yeah. Hopefully he goes
but for
more
a good
than
portion
that.
of it, right? So, yeah, it's in a strange way, the Pirates have had a terrible season. They're 21 games below 500. But here we are, an all-star weekend, and it's like they're one of the featured teams that's going to be talked about, probably mostly.
Yep. Yep. No, I'm excited for it. Yeah, Home Run Derby's on ESPN tonight, so yeah, looking forward to it. Should be fun.
Is Berman still there? Is he doing the home run derby still?
I don't know. Probably not. I'm sure ESPN will screw up the telecast in some
I'm
way.
just curious because it's like to have Oneil Cruz in there and have Berman. It's like, okay, this is kind of cool.
Yeah. 8 p.m. tonight. Home Run Derby.
Boom. All right. Well, outside of that, do you want to talk about the draft a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you're gonna have to probably carry it after the first pick.
Sure. And it's not as if like I'm some mad wizard that.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, let me hold
I mean,
on
I
here.
just
Let me put on.
briefly scanned through scouting reports, in the beginning of this show. But no, I hopped on from the airport last night and talked about Seth Hernandez for 3 or 4 minutes. Couldn't be happier with that pick. Say what you want about the Pirates the last few just developing players over Ben Cherington's tenure. But in 2023, he got the best player in the draft in Paul Skenes. In 2024, he got what looks like is going to be the best player from in that draft, which is Connor Griffin. And Seth Hernandez was the best high school baseball player in the country this year. Gatorade Player of the Year, same award that Connor Griffin won last year. The upside is huge. I know there's a lot of risk taking a high school arm, but the cream of the crop high school arms typically pay off. Like, I mean, the last the last high school arm the Pirates took this high was Jameson Taillon. And Jameson Taillon is a really good pitcher. He's still pitching now, and he's pitching pretty well. And he was good as a Pirate. The injuries, played a role in that, and it wasn't even all arm injuries. Like, he just had a lot of freak stuff happen to him.
Right.
He got cancer. But Jameson Taillon, when he hit the majors, 3.38 ERA, 3.2. I mean, in 2018, Jameson Taillon threw 191 pitches, had a 3.20 ERA for the Pirates. Like I said, the cream of the crop high school arms tend to do a little bit better than those guys who were, Quinn Priester. Quinn Priester was the number 1 high school pitcher in his draft.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't to this level. He wasn't being talked about as a top 5 pick. Right. He was being talked about when the Pirates picked him, which I think was 19th. So when you get a high school arm that's this talented, they tend to work out. And I said, the injury issues always, the injury risk is always going to be there no matter who the pitcher is. But you could argue that because that's the case, just stockpile as many impact arms as you can, because, hey, you know what? If you've got 1 impact arm and they go down, now you got 0. But if you've got 3 impact arms and 1 goes down, guess what? You still got 2. So the Pirates have shown that they're good at developing players like this. Keep doing what you're good at. And then when you do need to make a trade, you've got, again, prospects aren't just future major leaguers. Prospects are trade capital as well. So, now I'm not saying you trade Seth Hernandez, but prospects aren't just there to help your major league team down the road. Prospects are there to do that, but also to help your major league team right now. So when you say, why are we taking high school arms? Well, it's because maybe 2 years from now, you are in a playoff race, and it's you know what? We really need a left fielder who can hit. Well, now you can trade your prospects for a left fielder that can hit. So it's I think Pirates fans, just because we've sucked forever, we view prospects as future Pirates. That doesn't have to be the case. Prospects can be future guys that you trade to help your team when you need help right then and there. So that's why I'm always a proponent of draft the best player available, no matter what, because you never know what you're going to need next year or the year after that or the year after that. This isn't the NFL where you can just draft a cornerback and plug them in. What? Steelers need a corner. Let's draft a corner. No, these are 18-year-old kids you're drafting. Even if they're college players, we've still seen college players aren't just always magically ready 1 to 2 years down the road, right? They're not.
Unless the Angels draft you.
Yeah. So it's take the best player, try to develop them, use them if you need them in more than one way. So yeah, I think the Pirates made the right move with Seth Hernandez. Like I said, that digging into the other stuff, it's just, it sounds like the second round pick they got, Angel Cervantes, or maybe it's Angel. Again, I didn't watch the draft, so I don't know how it's pronounced. But he
said both.
He looks like
another. Really know either.
He looks like another high upside arm as well. Murph Gray, high contact guy, college bat, third baseman. Looks like he could also kind of develop some more power. Also has got some risk to move over to first. And then, Easton Carmichael in the 3rd round out of Oklahoma, another college hitter. Some power bat too, some power out of there. And but defense is kind of his question, is he actually a catcher? But if he can stay a catcher, I mean, you got someone there who can hit, hopefully. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I liked the draft.
I'd have to dig into a little bit more to give it a full total grade.
Sure. Yeah, and again, I'll kind of summarize what we talked. And again, Anthony Murphy was on with us last night. He was very helpful. He knew all these guys. A lot of these guys he was actually calling. He's like, I would like to see XYZ maybe going this round or whatever. And some of the guys were taken, but like every player that was here that they drafted, he mentioned at some point last night, which is really, really cool.
Nice.
But yeah, going back to Seth Hernandez, I am with you, man. I mean, again, we're talking about he was the top 2 talent in this draft. It's just the risk that comes with a high school pitcher. The Pirates took him. And again, you want to talk about the risk and reward type thing. Like, it is risky, but with risk comes with reward. And that was Connor Griffin last year. Like, he was a risky pick too. At number 9, you feel better about it, right? Because it's number 9. But the risk was like maybe the hit tool isn't really there. Maybe he just doesn't make good enough contact and he goes down that path. But with that risk also comes great reward because he is a guy who could be the best player in this draft. He has that type of talent. And so far, you see it coming to fruition. You see how he could, and I know it's just single A, and he has a lot to prove still, but all I'm saying is the path, what he's done so far to these levels, you see he could be the best player in that draft. And these Pirates could have a huge win on their hands because they took that risk, because they saw the reward. And that's kind of what Seth Hernandez brings. There is risk because he's a child, right? He's a pitcher, he's a child coming out of high school. There's a long path to go. Injuries, we know, with pitchers with it and all that and stuff. But like, this also wasn't Jamison Tyone. This also wasn't Quinn Priester. This was, hey, this is one of the better pitching talents out of high school we've seen in a long time. Do you take that risk? Do you go and draft them because of, I know the injuries and the flaming out could happen and such, but like, the reward's there. And you could have back-to-back potential draft years that you took the best player out of that draft. And back to, like you said, I'm glad you said it. I say it time and time again about, back-to-back. Oh, yeah, back-to-back. Yeah, you talk about the trade cap on 100%. And that's why you don't draft for need. Also, because I want to present this to you. And this is kind of extreme, but also it doesn't sound that extreme 2 years ago. If you need a bat today, would you rather have Dylan Cruz, or would you rather have the trade package that Paul Skenes could get you?
Paul Skenes is going to net you a better hitter than Dylan Cruz.
Then you just ended that argument right there. That's why you do it. Because do you want the lesser, you're taking best available, right? So do you want the lesser prospect? Do you want the thing that's worth 85 cents when you have $1 here? Just because it is a hitter? Again, would the Pirates be better off with Dylan Cruz right now or Paul Skenes? And if you say, not that you can, right, and not this will happen, but it's like, we have so much pitching, we could trade Paul Skenes for it. Well, exactly. What type of hitter do you think the Pirates could get from Paul Skenes? So that's what I'm alluding to. That's why you take best available as well, because it is just capital. And now you have better capital. You have a lot more dollars in your prospect package to send someone to get the hitter that you need. And again, so that's another big reason why you do it, like you mentioned, with the trade capital. So absolutely, you take best available. Now you have more bullets to get the player that you really need. Teams would rather have Paul Skenes, not Dylan Cruz.
Yeah, no, excellent point. Excellent point. And someone in our comments says you're being kind to Cherington, and I feel like I'm one of Ben Cherington's biggest opposers. I've been calling for him being fired for years now, but I mean, let's call it like this. He made the right pick in 2023, made the right pick in 2024. We'll find out if he made the right pick in 2025. I think it's easy. I think it's, out of the many things that he has done wrong, the last couple of drafts don't seem to be one of them. You can make an argument the first few drafts didn't go the way that they should have, and I mean I would agree with you there. But like the last couple drafts, seems like he's done a pretty good job on that first pick.
In Justin Horwitz, we believe.
Yeah, you got a new guy running the draft. So,
but anyways, to kind of round out too, Cervantes, like that pick, another high school arm. So you're going down this path of we need hitters, and it's like there's some talent there. The pitchability, the 4-mix pitch, it's very polished. Just the way Murph said last night. The reason I'm rehashing this too is like I'm not putting a 4-hour and 20-minute podcast out there. So some of the things that were said last night, if you didn't watch the stream, you're not really getting in podcast form. He likes him better than Levi Sterling. And we know how we liked Levi, last year. That's one thing too. Like going back to last year's draft, we liked last year's draft also. We didn't really like the shortstop. Although that's kind of proving us wrong right now in Sanford, right? But like that was like, I don't know about that. But the draft in total, we liked. We appreciated it. And that's how I come out of this one feeling also. But yeah, he likes Cervantes better than Levi, and Levi's ranked 13th and 8th around that. So another potential like top 10 on your prospect list out of that pitcher. Murph Gray, also Murph. That was great. That's why he was like, there's a guy named Murph in here. And just because his name Murph, I kind of want him. And then the Pirates drafted him. We're like, oh my God. But yeah, Murph, he was the 19th ranked prospect on Fangraphs. I mean, he kind of goes everywhere. But Fangraphs had him ranked 19th, and his contact skills were actually tremendous. That's where they were really high up on him. 92, I think, % contact rate on the fastball last year, 70 grade contact rate and such. So like it's all around there. Some people really like him. Some people don't. It's intrigue though. It is a hitter that you mentioned. A lot of people want it. It's a third baseman and the catcher. The arm seemed pretty bad, but Murph said a lot of people talk about like it has improved. That's kind of like a wait and see. But yeah, like the offense profiles, if anything, probably like a backup catcher, which you need plenty of those as well. So overall, I'm really intrigued by this draft, and I wanted Hernandez like you were kind of talking about. I didn't think it was going to happen. I wanted to find some way that Hernandez drops and the Pirates can get him, and it happened last night. So I was really excited about that. And as Anthony Murphy says, Murph Gray, 80 grade name.
Is a good name. It's a good baseball name.
Yep.
I'll say that Easton Carmichael too. I mean, that's a good baseball name too. Easton.
There was a lot of good names. We didn't get them. I wanted Neville, and I was going to name him Neville Island because it's tremendous defense and center, but that didn't come to fruition.
No. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll get over it.
Futures game was over the weekend too. I didn't get a chance to watch that because it was like during the Pirates Twins game on Saturday. Apparently Connor Griffin's okay, so I don't know if that's been discussed at all. But he got hit in the hand. Like I said, he seems to be okay though. So big time scare there for a little bit on Saturday. So, but that's good news that he came out of that okay.
And that's what I'm alluding to. You said the Pirates won't be able to lose until Friday. See, like stuff like of course there's a futures game, and the Pirates' top prospect, who eventually could be the number one prospect in baseball, gets hit in the hand. Like, of course that happened. But you are right. That was a scary moment. His dad says he's okay. They talked to Connor after, says it's okay. Now he's going back to Pittsburgh just to get reevaluated by the Pirates just to make sure. But it does seem like he's okay. So thank God he is and should be. But yeah, that was cool. Him and Valdez performed. Obviously, he got taken out because he got hit in the hand. They didn't really do too much. But yeah, I guess he got a single and got thrown out second.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't get to watch it. Cool. Valdez had one at bat.
I think it was just one.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I also fell asleep. I was really tired that day. I was also really sick. Like,
I'm probably gonna take a nap before this home run derby tonight. I know that. That is on the agenda for later today. Is a nap. Yeah, as Murphy says, Valdez flew out to end the game.
There it is.
So yeah, already making an impact.
Yeah.
If you were tired, he would have been like, yeah, you should have taken a nap after the game. Valdez did you a solid, ended the game for you.
Right. Anywho, so we done? Is that it?
I think we're done. Yeah, I think we're done.
Let's get out of here. Should be a good week. We'll certainly have some content. We'll be able to talk about the draft here on our next show in its entirety. But day 2's today. So let's see what happens. And as you know, and again, to throw another bone because he was amazing last night. Bucs on Deck will have a lot of coverage on that. So if you don't support them yet, if you're not following along with them yet, definitely do so. They're gonna have a lot of stuff on this draft, a lot of content. This is their Super Bowl. That's for sure this week.
No, great stuff.
So
thank you to Murphy for being on last night. So that's one of my favorite shows of the year. And so I was sad I didn't get to be on it last night. I love being on that show. So happy that you and Tyler and Doug got to step into
the show, by the way.
The limelight there. And then Murphy was there to provide all the good insights. So good stuff. Go back and watch it if you haven't yet.
There were certainly a few running bits. Yeah. Sure. If you're watching that 4 hours and 20 minutes straight, you deserve to be called the idiot that you are. Just like me.
Take it in chunks, Or what? If you're bored at work today, just watch. It's half your work day can be spent watching that show.
It's wild. That's literally where my mind went last night when I got done with it. I was like, that's half of a work day. I just did this. Like, that's half of a work day. Ugh. It didn't feel like it though. That's Tyler and I both said afterwards. Like, it didn't feel like 4.5 hours. Now, I mean, like, my ass felt like it was 4.5 hours. My legs felt like it was 4.5 hours. But time went by pretty quick. Again, it was fun. Yeah. Doug, once again, the highlight. Everyone loves Doug. I love Doug.
Doug's the best.
Second best, Anthony Murphy. So we'll get out of here. We appreciate you all. Enjoy the All-Star festivities. We'll be around. We'll have still plenty of content going out there. And until then, we'll see you guys then. Like, subscribe. We love y'all. Bye-bye.
See you guys. All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucs.